pull up the chat as per usual. Alright, there we go. Alright, where we left off, we had some loose ends to tie up, and that's really what this stream's all about. Making sure we get to that end game before the new year. So, my plan is to finish up this thing with Cassiopeia. I'm not sure if they're going to make me wait for Nightfall, or if they'll give me the option to jump to it. But then we have the whole Elite Four champion thing to go through as well. So, without further ado, let's see if we can't wrap this one up to begin with. It's the one we left off on, and really would like to see this one through. The question is, how do I get to the... Yeah, it's none of those. I think I have to make my way back to, like, the... What do they call it? It's not a battleground, but something similar. Where do you want to... I don't know where I want to go. I don't think I've been to any of these. I don't think it's the schoolyard. Maybe it is the schoolyard? I don't think it's any of the other places, so let's check the schoolyard. Hey Richard, welcome to the stream. Getting ready for the New Year's? Do you have a... Oh. Okay, yeah, so they do jump me right to the... right to nighttime for this. You got any plans for New Year's? Either the event or, you know... What do they call them? The things that you swear you're going to do next year that you never do? Resolutions, that's the word I was looking for. Thanks for coming. Also, thank you for coming, Richard. Oh, I'm shocked. Never saw it coming. Well, this must be quite a shock for you. The big boss, Cassiopeia, they were both me, all along. When I saw you make quick work of those Team Star lackeys outside the school that time, the idea for Operation Starfall suddenly came to me. My skills let me get hold of as much LP as I want, so I decided to use that to tempt you into helping me out. After the operation started, I kept an eye on you as a member of the supply unit. And I had you battle the bosses on my behalf. All for the goal of defeating me and putting an end to Team Star once and for all. But still, there's a part of me that wants Team Star to live on. I can't just roll over and let you win without putting up a fight. This is the final showdown. Are you ready? Absolutely, I'm ready. Thank you. Oh shit, Clive showed up! Sorry to keep you. The letter of apology mistime had me, preparations took longer than expected. That voice. Are you Clive? Penny. So it was you after, is that you, Cassiopeia? In the flesh? I've a task for you, Clive, if you'll accept it. I want you to record what happens next, so I can send the video to Team Star. They need to see the outcome of this battle for themselves. Okay, will do. Can we trust that Clive's gonna know how to operate the whole smartphone thing to take a video? Didn't give any thought to New Year's resolutions, to be honest. Neither do I, Richard. It's one of those things that if you make them, you set yourself up for failure. If you don't make them and you do good things, the bar was so low it didn't even exist. Now you're busting into the new year, you know, taking wins every which way you can. Then allow me to introduce myself properly. I'm the big boss of Team Star. The name's Cassiopeia. Wait, no, Penny. The name's Penny. Now, bow down to the overwhelming might of Team Star's founder. Judging by the backpack, I wonder what kind of Pokemon she'll use. It's fairly obvious they're going to be a bunch of evolutions, because she's going to have all the type advantage. But my question is she also going to include in the rotation an actual Eevee? That would be fun. I won't hold back. I won't. Wow. I'm already struggling to read. You guys ever have one of those days where your mind says you want to keep doing things, but your body's already shutting down? That's about where I'm at right now. Alright, Umbreon is no joke on that level. Alright, dropping our physical attack is going to be a pain because Lupin's basically all about the physical power. Yeah, that seems like it did a lot more than I wanted it to on the... Reminder that Eevee is the best evolution. I can't even fault that. First of all, it's one of the most adorable. All the other ones, you know, they have their own avenues, the cool factor, the wow factor, the fuzz factor. They all have their own thing. Eevee is, and I say this all the time, weaponized cuteness. It is one of the most marketable Pokemon in the franchise. Alright, we're going to send out Leafeon, so we're going to send Ash out. I think that makes the most sense. Ash, the reliable partner? Is that something that happens? Like, you actually get different send-out cards if you're close enough with the Pokemon? Because that's really cool. I don't know if they've done that before, but that's at least the first time I've noticed seeing something like that. I couldn't get any sleep last night, so I get what you mean. Also, someone I know literally. Are you talking about the lack of sleep or the weaponized cuteness? Because I think many people know someone who would fit at least that second one. Alright, man, the problem is Vaporeon could have some other type coverages that I need to be careful of. Dem's the only smart choice here, though, with the option of Thunderfang. Honestly, I'm really liking the team setup I have. Obviously, there is, like, a more balanced approach I could go for, but I have a really nice unit setup for mostly leaning in, like, newer Pokemon, but also leaning on some tried and true. I've got my obvious favorite. We've got one that is often in the middle, primarily because it's not evolved, but a huge fan favorite. And then we have a long-time powerhouse in the franchise. Also, gotta love having the goodest boys rocking up in the team. My bad, was looking away, and the enter was accidentally hit on my phone. Again, Richard, I must ask the question, are you referencing weaponized cuteness in a persona? Frankly, you don't even have to get into, like, real people. There's a lot of options for that if you really want to branch out. Alright, let's send Richard out. You're going to come in here. Do a little bit of sweep up. Unless she's rocking a Jolteon, I actually think we can stick with you the rest of the way through this fight. We've already seen the other two, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if she sends out... After Flareon goes down, if she sends out a Jolteon. And that would be a terrible one to keep you in on, regardless of any possibility. that quadruple weakness is a real problem, and then add to it that there's no way we're likely to be outspeeding a Jolteon. Yeah, no, been doing that a lot recently. Going to say one thing and completely forgetting where I'm going. The holidays did a real number on my mental faculties, as it were. Alright, we're swapping into Jolteon, so we'll go back to Ash for the dig. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to slow down at all, even after Christmas wrapped up. I've been doing some writing for my Dungeons & Dragons campaign, and I've been trying to figure out the right... I've referenced it before. I'm going to be giving away my old capture card. We had a whole thing about it a couple streams ago. I'm pretty sure you were there for it, Richard. So I don't need to rehash all of that. But I did want to include in that sort of a written memoir sort of thing for Halo Master Chief. Because there's a whole thing about how that all lays out. Again, I think we went into detail when we discussed that on a stream, but I wanna send the item with a decently written summary and a little bit about him as an individual from. Ooh, I didn't pay attention to who they're sending out. Judging off of what we've seen, it's either going to be a Glaceon or an Espeon. I almost think Arcana's not terrible to send out, so we're gonna send him out. But yeah, I've been rattling my brain on how to best tackle that situation, because it's something that needs to be handled with a little bit of decorum. And if I don't... Oh, okay, Sylveon. That actually makes thematic sense, but less sense in the party lineup. Oh man. And it's fairy type, the one that I have very minimal knowledge on. It's also fairy type, and I think that means it's strong to dark. So if Arcana stays out, it's probably not going to go too well for him. I think fighting is decent, but I don't think I have... Yeah, I have no fighting type moves. Alright, when in doubt, go for broke. Richard, you've held strong so far. Why should I have any doubt in you right now? Didn't remember it at first, but then you brought up the memoir, and I remembered it thanks to that bit. Remembered the thing we discussed in a live stream, or remembered the thing you forgot what to say earlier? There's a lot of forgetfulness going on here, Richard. But yeah, that's another thing I've been rattling my brain with. Obviously, you know, there's always the family stuff. VV Power! VV Power's a great thing. I like that. Anyways, I got totally distracted by that. But yeah, and then the I've picked up a lot of items during the Steam sale recently. So I've been playing a couple of new games, trying to work those in. As a result, I have not had any time to let my brain, and they're thinking games. That's the big one. I haven't had a lot of time to let my brain slow down. At this point, I think I'm running on more caffeine than anything. All right, can't leave Richard in. We're getting crushed out here. I can't swap into Dem. The dark typing is going to be a problem. Lupin might not be a bad one to swap in on. Hey Ash, welcome to the stream. Got it, Richard. Thank you for clarifying on that. Welcome to the stream, Ash. How are things going for you? Got any New Year's plans or plans for the new year as a whole? That's New Year's, the quote-unquote holiday, and New Year, the entire body of 365 days. Jesus Christ, this thing is dropping bodies. And somehow Richard held strong. Man. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is send in Dem despite the power difference to hit the Intimidate and to feed out the timing for the terastallizing. Man, what's the better option here? Okay, we're going to go for the Stab Crunch, see what happens with that. There we go. I was worried we weren't going to outspeed it. Dem is not particularly speedy, but he is a powerhouse. Man, the Steam sale really took a walloping on my wallet. I think I spent some $300 on all of the sale games. The worst part is, again, because the brain has not had any time to recover, I can't even remember what I spent my money on. I know one of them was Tactics Ogre, because that's the one I've been playing the most of. And the other one was Elden Ring. Again, another one I've played a lot of recently, too. In my off time. Well, we're done here. I think we should call it quits. Now hold up. You saying we should break up the team? You gotta be joking. We got carried away with Operation Star. Now everything's gotten out of hand. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you round up a bunch of bullies in a courtyard and make a show of them learning some manners. You rounded them up in the courtyard and busted in with your, like, what, 5 or 6 vehicles and just started running kids over. Mela, you've got to understand where the mess up was here. But we didn't even fight him in the end. We didn't do anything wrong. I am still under the implication that you ran kids over. I don't care what your machines are built of. I don't care if they're Pokemon. My understanding of the situation is you got bullied, you created these super vehicles, and then you busted into the school riding these super vehicles, screaming about bullies. Does the Pokemon Company not understand how close to, like, an analogy of school shooters this is? I'm sorry, I can't not take it there. That is basically what the premise sounds like to me. Indeed. Merely did we declare our intention to battle tooth and nail should the villains persist in their tyrannous oppression. 'Twas a bloodless victory, we assure you. Again, this is the equivalent of someone running into the school building with their gun, firing a couple rounds into the floor, screaming that things are going wrong, and then everybody's like, yo, okay, shit, maybe we went too far. Okay, Ma, this school ain't safe, get me the hell out of here. Like, it doesn't matter that people weren't hit. It doesn't matter that you didn't run kids over. Like, the intention was there, the threat was made. That is one hell of a strong arm. Yeah, they didn't even send out their Pokemon. They just blubbered and apologized a whole lot. Our outfits must have spooked them good. The outfits are not the problem. You made supercharged vehicle Pokemon. But the bullies made a huge stink about what went down. And then they all ended up leaving the academy. Why would they not? Why would anyone stick around? God, that's... I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but the school I went to, my freshman year, there was a fight that broke out between 2 older classmen, and like the fight was real bad, a full knockdown, drag down fight. One person got their ass literally beaten down, and they did not take that particularly well. Uh, it was like the following day or like the following 2 or 3 days, so fairly close by. The guy that took it the roughest in that fight actually came in and stabbed the guy that had won the fight. Didn't kill him. It wasn't like major. I think the guy had to get some stitches, but there was actually a stabbing that happened, and the guy that stabbed him did not get to do a follow-up. He was hauled off fairly quickly, and then police came, took him out. But like, man, if that didn't rock everyone's world for a couple of days. like that is a momentarily at least defining situation. Let me see here. Ash says, "Hey, says hi." The thing discussed in the glad it didn't kill him, but holy crap. Yeah, no, it's again, like I didn't exactly grow up on the best side of town, so to speak, but yeah, you'd hear gunshots in the night. That was one of the worst actual on school ground situations. It's not the only stabbing that happened within my period at school, at high school, but it's the only one that happened on school grounds. So much of the other stuff happened off school grounds. We actually had a gas station where almost everything went down. Most fights happened there. There were again multiple other stabbing incidences. Some of them a bit more serious. I don't think anybody ever died from it. My brother, during his time in school, someone got hit by a car in the parking lot doing some dumb stunt work. That was probably drug oriented. We had a number of people get hit by cars in my time in the school years. We had people getting shot at regularly. Again, I don't think anybody was ever like hit in the shootings. And mind you, I say all of this, and when people think like a school or like an inner city school or something is what people usually think of, and they think multiple hundred kids. My graduating class, like the people who graduated with me, that number I'm pretty sure was less than 100. So when you think of the entire school size, consider that and realize that I was in a school district that every subsequent year had been for a number of years shrinking in its size. So if we were at 100 or just under 100, then the years below my graduating class were actually fewer in number for quite a while. So I talk about all of these things, and it's not like we had a couple 100,000 or whatever, however big schools can get. We didn't have a huge student body. So if I say that there were like 20 or so events within a single year, realize the portion of the student body that was involved in that. Especially because most of these events are rarely ever 1 to 2 people. Like even that fight that I just referenced, although it was 2 people engaged in the actual fight, you know that there were more involved parties than just 2 people. It's high school. People are egging things on, people are antagonizing, it's the way it works. So that's kind of how a lot of that plays out. In my school, there was one instance where a student accidentally brought a gun from a hunting trip with his dad. It was found in the bag check. That's another thing. I've talked about this. Let me wrap this scene up, and I'm gonna actually talk about guns in school for a second, because I've got some information on that I think a lot of people forget used to be a thing. Or at least it was in our area, and maybe we were special because of it. Our plan backfired epically. There's no way we're getting off scot-free. I guess you're right, his little stump might have put us up the creek. I'll fix this mess on my end. Just leave it to me. What are you saying? I'm the one who started Team Star. I dragged you all into this. So I'll take responsibility for everything. Gotta give it up to her, though. For her or him. I don't know if the character is male or female yet, which is odd. But I gotta give it up to him for actually, owning up the responsibility here. Oh, noble and kind Big Boss, you cannot. Now that the bullies are gone, you guys should start going to school again. Oh yeah? What about you? I can't go back. Why? There's no reason for you to stay shut in your room anymore, right? All I can say to you guys is thanks. Even though we never met in person, you were all so kind to me. Oh, stop right there, BB. What are you talking like we'll never speak again? I need to go take care of some things. Prithee, speak to us. What is thine intent? Hey, Big Boss, answer us. Alright, so that's the way a lot of this played out at the end here. Bye-bye, guys. Thanks for everything. Again, it really makes you feel for Team Star's situation. Even if, again, riding in your vehicles, surrounding a bunch of kids and making threats isn't exactly the best way to wrap things up. Thanks for everything, Ian. And you too, Clive. Well, I'm glad I could see this through to the end. I guess this is it for Team Star. And me too. Now, hold that thought, Penny. I'd like to check something with you first. Check... what? Why resort to something like Operation Starfall if you're the big boss of Team Star? Wasn't there any other way to handle this? I tried telling the bosses that we were done once before, but they still didn't quit. Why not simply... Clive coming in here with, I won't even say big brain, normal brain strategies. You're the boss, make it a declaration. Our code states that no one in the team has the right to order people around. I could ask them all to do stuff, but I could never order them. So it's back to the code once again. The bosses must have taken it very seriously. They did. That's why I knew I could use it to force Team Star to disband. Because the bosses would do anything the code required of them. Even leave the team? Yes, and... well, again, does the code say that they have to leave? I thought it just meant they gave up their boss title. Nothing says they couldn't join again and be like one of the underlings. Yes, and according to the code, they had to accept any challenge made to them. So again, why not challenge them yourself? That's the idea for Operation Starfall. Cassiopeia, let me ask you one last thing. What does Team Star... no. What do your friends in the team mean to you? They're my greatest treasure. Aww. Chat, you're my greatest treasure. At least as far as the live streaming goes. Splendid. Thank you for apprising me of the situation, Miss Penny. What? Now, young lady, there's something I should very much like to discuss with you. Quit with the old geezer act, Clive. You're creeping me out. Indeed. Well then, before we talk further, allow me to reveal to you my own secret identity. Ha ha! Director Clavel? How could it be? Penny, I am just as shocked as you are. He said it earlier and I called him a liar for it. Just as Cassiopeia was your disguise, the boy you knew as Clive was mine. But why? I needed a way to talk to Team Star on equal terms. Students do tend to shy from speaking their mind to their teachers after all. Much more so when faced with the director of the academy. Yeah, but... where do I even start? Wasn't the outfit a bit much? Plus, I've I have some big feelings about that wig. Well, that's quite enough for now. Everyone, why don't you come on out? And of course, we gotta have everyone here for the big moment. Yo, big boss, long time no see. Momo? More like long time no meet, right? I mean, we only found out your real name just now. Melly. Verily is thy long hidden a sight for sore eyes, my lady. I don't know what that word was. So, I heard your real name's Penny. How have you been this whole time? We found you at last. You have no idea how worried we've been. I still gotta say, Aerie is, out of all of them, my favorite character of the group. Hasta la vista, Cassiopeia, and hello, Penny. That's very heartwarming. Very touching. Now then, Miss Penny, and each of you young bosses as well, on behalf of the Academy, I have something I would like to say to Team Star. You all have my sincerest apologies. Come again? As director of the Academy, I let you down. My handling of your situation was a dismal failure. I still don't... I mean, why? You all told me about your reasons for forming Team Star, and about your subsequent actions. Ever since my first day as director, all I've ever experienced at the Academy is an environment blessedly free from bullying. But I now know this peace was built on the backs of your hurt and anger, and of course your immense courage in putting things to right. And so, I'll get straight to the conclusion. The Academy's order for Team Star to disband, and my threat to expel those who did not obey, are hereby revoked. Does that mean what I think it means? Indeed, Team Star can continue to exist, should that be your wish. Woohoo! Penny, isn't that great? Now we can all stay together. Oh, mine heart is giddy with glee. But I betrayed all of you. You mean Operation Starfall? Director Clavel told us all about it. Far as we heard, you only went through with it to save us from getting expelled. You were just worried about us, right? Not like we'd ever chuck the team just because someone told us to, after all. Ain't our style. I cannot even begin to imagine how you must have feared for us, Lady Penny. Sorry for making you worry, BB. We're all okay now. Even so... Hold on, everyone. I've more to say. As previously stated, the requirement for Team Star to disband has been revoked. However, there are still some unsettled matters to discuss. Allow me to provide a few examples. Your protracted truancy, your brazen customization of school uniforms, your unauthorized usage of Academy equipment, your reckless modification and jeopardous driving of Pokemon-powered vehicles. Need I go on? Your flagrant disregard for school rules cannot simply be overlooked. Thus, as punishment, you will all be required to engage in community service. Community service? Yes. Specifically, I will be asking you to manage the STCs. And that stands for the Star Training Centers. They shall be facilities for cultivating Pokemon trainers' talents. I plan for the Academy to found them in collaboration with the Pokemon League. The idea came to me when I saw Master Ian battling his way through your bases. The base's construction, as well as the battle tactics employed by the students in Team Star, are remarkably unique and creative. I would ask that you continue your team activities, but henceforth as STC staff members, using your former bases as training facilities. And that is the sum of it. Does anyone have any concerns? No, it sounds like fun. So I don't see how that'll be anything but a win-win. This may be a weird thing to say since the STCs are supposed to be a punishment and all, but you should totally join in too, Penny. 'Tis true. We would most happily have you at our sides, my lady. We can go to school together too. That way if anything happens, we'll be there to protect you. We were already talking about how great it'd be to have both Team Star and school in our lives. This would be a great deal for us. So, what do you say? You guys? Ian, what do you think? Do I even have to have a say? I think it sounds great. No need to give your response right this moment, Miss Penny. Do take some time to decide. For now, at least, I think our little group should go their separate ways. Not to say you should break up Team Star after all, I simply meant it is time to leave. You know, school grounds, late at night, people are bound to think something's up. Master Ian, please stop by my office later if you would. Okay, now that we've wrapped this scene up, I can talk about that little bit that I wanted to before we hit there. We do have to go see Professor Clavel, but we'll see what happens with that. See how involved this scene is going to be. Because I do want to talk about this firearms in school thing. Here you are, Master Ian. I wanted to thank you for all your hard work in resolving the situation with Team Star. If not for you, I suspect I would have done the team a grievous injustice in my choice of punishment for their actions. You have my sincere gratitude. Who is it? It's Penny. Ah, Miss Penny, do come in. Hello, Director? About the STCs, I'd like to work on them together with the rest of Team Star. It's wonderful news. Thank you very much for your favorable response. But, I should be punished more heavily than the others, I think. Why so? Because of Operation Starfall? No, not that. Because the other really bad thing I did. And what would that be? You know the LP I gave you both in exchange for helping me with Operation Starfall? I got a hold of it illegally by hacking the Pokemon League's management system. Well, that is quite the revelation. I didn't think such a thing was even possible in the first place. It wasn't all that... I'm really sorry, and I won't do it again. Well, this matter is rather out of my jurisdiction, I'm afraid. I will have to consult Miss Gita, the Pokemon League chairwoman, on how best to proceed. I figured as much. I do apologize, Master Ian, but I will have to ask you to give us some privacy. Alright, I think that wraps all that up. Now to get to the story thing that I was building up to. I remember a time in high school. This was probably freshman, sophomore year. I think it was less a thing in my junior year and was completely done away with by the time I was a senior. But there was actually a point in time that kids were allowed to actually bring certain firearms to school. Ian? Penny? There's something I want to talk to you about. Could you meet me in front of the school stairs? You know, where we first met. Penny, I thought we were wrapping this up. I'll be waiting. We actually had a skeet team at my school. And if you don't know what skeet is, it's clay pigeons. They fly in the air, you shoot them with a shotgun. And it was actually quite common for students to bring their shotguns to school. As it generally worked out, from what I understand, the students would come in before school hours, have their firearms. I believe you had to have a lock on the trigger of some sort, and it had to be in a bag or case. And you would check it in with the faculty member who ran the skeet team. You would check in, you would hand them all your ammo, they would clear it and verify that there's nothing in the gun. They'd lock it, you'd have to give them the key. And frankly, from what I understand, they didn't always make you hand over the key. So that was kind of a thing. But you were supposed to hand over the key and your firearm would go in your locker. So actually it was not uncommon for kids to have actual access to their shotguns. It was just that they weren't necessarily, easy to open your locker, pull out, and rack off a few rounds. That was not a thing that was going to happen very easily. Obviously, with a lot of the cheap locks you get multiple keys. So kids would have like, oh yeah, here's my key. I'm going to keep my other key in my pocket. That was pretty common too. But I do find it funny how we have evolved from that session where, again, people had events in it, like fights in school. We had stabbings. Like I said, the stabbing happened my freshman year. So all that stuff was happening, and people had access to their shotguns. Like, if people were going to want to have it be death as the goal, the methods were there, and it is surprising to me that things would escalate the way they often did, and yet that never happened. Meanwhile, my senior year, we had a big bomb threat, huge scare, cleared out the building, parents were in a panic, SWAT came in and swept the whole building. There was a whole thing about it. That was a wild one. Oh, there we go. But yeah, my entire thing I wanted to say is it was not that long ago that firearms were actually not only allowed in school, but were part of club activities. Hasta la vista. The six of us thought up that catchphrase back when we created the team. It's so cringy, it's perfect, you know? Anyway, about the LP thing. I thought it was going down big time for hacking the league point system. But they're letting me off easy. I don't know, that sounds pretty great to me. The league said they'll waive my debt if I do some volunteer engineering for them. They even asked for me to come work for them after I graduate, if you can believe that. Director Clavel, look, Penny, that's actually very common. Many black hat hackers, people who hack with either ill intent or with adverse outcomes, quite often will turn around and become white hat hackers, the people actually employed by the very people they once targeted. Not too uncommon a path for things like that to take. Director Clavel and that Gita lady kept complimenting me like a weird amount. Apparently I have outstanding talent or something. Sorry for calling you out here to meet like this. I'm not so great with people face to face. I never seem to find the right words, but thank you so much. You saved Team Star, and my friends along with it. I know words won't ever be enough to properly thank you for all you've done, so here. Yo, Draco Meteor's a good move. Not one I use very often, because I seem to recall that it has a pretty low accuracy by my standard. I have the mentality that if it is not 100%, it is 50%. And one more thing. I want to repay the debt I owe you. If you ever think of a way I can do that, just let me know. I'm great with machines and apparently hacking stuff. So next time, I'll be the one helping you, Ian. There was a bomb threat long before I went to the high school a teacher told us about. They knew it was fake, But they had to close school down that day because that's how it worked, apparently. According to what the teacher told us, to what the teacher told the class, at least. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's always just, you know, the formula that you have to follow. But yeah, it's kind of funny. One of the students that was actually a member of the skeet team that actually had their firearm in their locker quite often per what we had set up, and I don't know if that was, you know, how well received it was with the parents. I'd assume it was fairly well received. We are... I think a lot of people don't know is in Michigan, we are actually a very firearm-heavy state. Oddly enough, okay, so it's off to the upper left here that I'm going. Yeah, a big part of it is our hunting culture, primarily. We have one of the largest hunting communities, I think, in the nation. So that's the way a lot of this was, at least back in the day when I was in high school, was largely on the backing and understanding of that culture. But yeah, one of the students who actually had their shotgun in the class quite often. Keeping my eye out for shinies, sorry guys. Was actually the student who was most assumed that if there was to be an active shooter, would have been that particular student, which is actually, funny enough, one of my friends in school. So, you know, should the tragedy of the event ever unfold, apparently I would have been in the clear. Per the... Ooh, what's up there? No, I want up there. I'm getting up there. You think you can keep me down? Okay, get a little, please. Come on. There we go. Okay, from here, I'm getting up there. You are not keeping me down from this game. Y'all thought you could keep me off the roof? Oh, okay, we're gonna have some story here. I probably should have stopped off at the Pokemon Center. I didn't even check what my team is like as far as their, how injured they might or might not be. Hello, Ian. So, this is it. You've decided to face the Pokemon League. The final test you must pass to become a champion. No, hold on. The final test is going to be another fight with Nemona. I'm calling it right now. Like, I can fight your Elite Four. I can fight Nemona beforehand. I can fight your Elite Four. None of that matters. It all builds up to the champion versus champion fight that needs to happen after the Elite Four. I wish you the best of luck from the bottom of my heart, Ian. I look forward to meeting you again soon, once you have properly earned the title. My guy, you letting me in? No, because I am ignorant and again, immediately forgot to check my party. Alright, judging by that, I'd say we're good. And we're going to lead in with Lupin, because if we're fighting Nemona, I seem to recall that was a good plan the first time. I don't know if they're going to make me fight Nemona before or after all of this. Let's see here. Ian from Naranja Academy, is it? It appears you have a total of 8 gym badges. Very well. You may now proceed to the interview room. What? An interview? I understand the whole interview process was like me getting my gym badges. Okay. Thank you for coming. Oh, I think they did mention this already. I just forgot about it. Please, do have a seat. I did not prepare for an interview. I should have brought my resume. I, Rika, will be your interviewer. Let's get started with the first portion of the champion assessment. We begin with the interview. First things first, let me see how many gym badges you have. Excellent. You have all 8. Rika, they checked that at the front of the building. Are you sure that's important right now? Next, I'd like to ask you a few questions if you wouldn't mind, Ian. Please think carefully, as you may automatically fail the interview depending on how you answer. Let's begin. How did you get here today? Well, I rode up the mountainside on my Pokemon. I walked up to the building, but... Very good, very good. Please, tell me the name of the school you enrolled in. Naranja Academy? Yes, that's right. So what brings you to the Pokemon League today? I mean, I could go with for fun. Really, I'm here to, in my opinion, earn my right to challenge my friend Nimona in the fight that we have been building to since we first started this journey together. But you don't have that as an option. Yes, indeed. Why else would you be here? I suppose I have clearly laid out my entire reasoning for being here. Now, what do you intend to do if and when you become a champion? Yes, I want to battle Nimona. I see. Interesting. Tell me, which of the 8 gyms gave you the most difficulty? I'll be honest, I don't remember any of these by name. I think Levincia was the one with the electric girl. And because that's the only one I can remember, it was at least the one I enjoyed a lot. So I'm going to go with that one. I see. Oh God. And what was the name of the gym leader you failed? Oh. Guys, I am cheating right now. Hey, I think that was Iono. I'm glad you seem to remember. I was so panicked. The moment the interview got way too real. Iono, yes. Richard, we agreed that we would never speak of my terrible rhyming ever again. I have blocked that entire moment from my memory. That never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. I just walked into town, got a badge, and walked out. Yeah, I panicked so hard at like which gym leader went with which gym. Back in my day, we had gym names, but like everything was just about what was their badge. What was the Boulder badge, the Cascade badge, and who was associated with that badge. I didn't remember location names. Remembering an item was way easier than remembering a place. I don't know why my brain works that way, it just does. So when you're just like, hey, what place gave you a hard time? I don't know. Who ran that place? I don't know. Rika brought questions that broke me. I'm the trainer, the only remainder of Richard, the burns could not be worse. They don't even have to rhyme. You just have to bring up the fact that it happened. But do you remember which type of Pokemon Iono used? They were electric. Wonderful. building the skills needed for the champion assessment is no small feat. You must have met a lot of Pokemon to get here, Ian. What was the category of Pokemon you chose to be? Oh, my first partner. Yeah, that's no problem. I chose the Grass Cat. Please don't ask me, like, how many Pokemon did you find who just so happened to be Rock-type? Oh, no! Very good. Very good. Now, please forgive me, but I'm going to repeat a previous question. Remind me, what do you intend to do if and when you become a champion? I'm going to battle Nemona. I have made this very clear. This is one of the few things that I am confident on. Ah, yes, that is right. Next is the final question for this interview. Do you like... That's a dumb question. I am insulted that you asked. Rika, throw out the Pokeballs. We're throwing down right now. Good job. That about wraps up the interview. No, we are not done here. I have thrown down the gauntlet. And let me be the first to congratulate you, Ian. You just passed the first part of the champion assessment. On your first try, too, no less. Don't think anyone has done that since Nemona. But anyway, time to switch gears and get ready for the next segment. This is what we call the Elite Test. And you'll be facing the Elite Four in Pokemon battles. I have already declared, Rika, you go down first. I guess that's pretty obvious from the name of the title. Anyway, we're the best the league has to offer. You'll be facing us 4 in a row. No turning back. This won't be a cakewalk, I promise you that. Make sure you're all ready. Then go into the room behind me. This room will suffice! Once you're ready for the Elite Test, go into... There will be blood. Just give her the stink eye on my way out. Dem, oh wow, I missed when Dem first came in. Hey Dem, welcome to the stream. How's the new year treating you? These burns are so bad they call... Richard. Man, a part of me died reading that one. Anyways, Dem, how are things going? Do you have any plans for the new year? And then, do you have any plans for the new year in its entirety? I've got a couple of friends who are on a toss-up between whether or not they're going to show up for some Dungeons and Dragons or go out and get wasted at a bar. So, that seems to be the common occurrence in my friend group right now. Now then, let's get this started, eh? Rika, I am ready to go. I'd say I'll go easy on you, but I'd be lying. Think fast. Rika, I was already just getting ready to start smearing, like, your Pokemon's face against the walls of the last room. Alright, Whiscash, for whatever reason, I seem to recall being part electric. So frankly, we're in a pretty good spot. And, man, I could go for like an early advantage and Terrastalize, but I'm going to hold off on that. I don't know if they're using water Pokemon or electric Pokemon yet. Because honestly, it could be either or right now. And electric would be a problem just because of my team layout. I'm sorry, is it not a set theme anymore? Camerupt doesn't follow either of those. Not too bad. Richard can come in and deal some damage. Gonna watch fireworks. Ooh, fireworks on the beach. That sounds enjoyable. Not really thought out past that night. Wait, I thought of a better one. A trainer got burned so bad that their name was Ash. Yeah, I'll let you have that one. I'll let that. We'll just slide on by. Nah, but damn, I am jealous. Fireworks beachside. First of all, I'm from Michigan, so we understand the experience of looking at fireworks over water. It is gorgeous. The way the sound echoes. If you get like a night where it's high flying clouds, so the fireworks are below the cloud line, the echo and bounce back from the explosions of the going off fireworks, amazing to sit through and listen. You'll hear it for miles, and the echo and the reverb is magical. Follow it up with the fact that you will see both the fireworks in the sky and reflecting off the water. It is an experience that I wish more people got to experience regularly. So I am absolutely jealous. Instead, I'm going to be leading a campaign of people going through a big maze until I get so plastered that I just start making shit up. Just hoping it's not raining on that night. Yeah, it would be terrible to get rained out. Like I said, I'm jealous of the experience you're gonna have. So, fingers crossed though that it goes without any hitches. And yeah, New Year's, you get drunk, especially when you're looking at what a shit show the 2020s have been so far. 2020, 2021, and 2022. At this point, just send it off getting drunk. That's about the way to wash it out. Alright, Donphan. Try to remember which one Donphan is. I know the Pokemon. I think it's the tire wheelie ground type. Unfortunately, Richard is asleep. But I think Lupin coming in wouldn't be a bad trade-off. The only memory I have of Donphan, like in all of Pokemon, no, there's two memories. Two memories for Donphan in all of the Pokemon franchise that stick out to me. If you've played Pokemon Stadium, I think 2, there was a Donphan race minigame, and that was a lot of fun to play because you really got to screw with some of your friends on that one. And then the other one is in Pokemon, I think it was Pokemon the first movie. Donphan was one of the Pokemon that got revealed in the fight with the trainer that was testing Ash for whether or not he was going to be fit to go to Mewtwo's island. And I remember as a kid being in that movie theater. Most people didn't have like any knowledge of what was coming in the Pokemon franchise. So we're all looking at this thing like this new Pokemon no one knew. The movie theater erupted. And also, one of the best versions of the original Pokemon theme song that has ever been made, ever. I think the only other one that comes close. Let me look this up real fast. I gotta do some homework to make this statement. Who did this? God, it's so old. There is a heavy metal cover of the original Pokemon theme song by a band that did a lot of metal covers for nerdy things. And I can't for the life of me remember. Power Glove, that was the band's name. Sorry I had to look that up. I felt like I was mandated to give that out at this point. Power Glove did a cover of the original Pokemon theme song, and if you have not heard it, I highly recommend it. It's fantastic. Metallica did a metal cover of the Pokemon theme at one point. I didn't know Metallica did that. I'm gonna have to check that out. Alright, Clodsire coming out here is kind of a big deal. Are you going to terrestrialize into ground, or are you going to shake it up? Because if you terrestrialize into pure ground type, it actually might help me out. There you go, pure ground type. Now we're getting the stab damage, the guaranteed critical damage, and the double damage from the typing. You thought it was a power play, but it backfired. And per usual, I will find it and send you the link on Twitter then. I'm probably going to look that up as soon as I close this out, but if you find it and send it to me on Twitter, that will expedite it a lot, because, God, that blows my mind. Metallica did a Pokemon theme cover. I'm going to have to send that to my brother, too. He's another big metalhead, and Metallica is one of the go-to bands. Not bad, kiddo. Look, I told you it was going down. You challenged my love of Pokemon, I threw down the gauntlet, and then you had the audacity to make me wait to smear you into the ground for it. Talk about unfair. No way I was ever going to win that one. No, and you don't deserve it. Still though, what a great battle. Felt good even to lose. Not a whole lot of trainers have the skill to make it past the elite test. But who knows? I'm beginning to think you might be one of the few that do, Ian. Better stay on your toes, though. The second of the Elite Four is stronger than me. You're up next, Squirt. Come on out. Do I not get to change my party layout? Or heal? Oh, wow. Did you lose, Rika? Yeah, I did. He's no pushover, let me tell you. I'll be watching from the side. Avenge me if you can, eh? You bet I will. Okay, good. They're gonna let me at least heal up in between. Hold on, I gotta water my plant. Alright, and while we're here, Richard, I need you to wake up, buddy. Do I have a... There we go, an awakening. Alright, so I think we led pretty well with that one. I don't know what kind of Pokemon she uses. So I've got to step in with some big heavy hitters, and it's either Richard or Dem. And I think Richard is just a little bit tankier. So we're going to open up with Richard here. But yeah, as I was talking about the Pokemon theme songs, I actually have some Pokemon covers in my music rotation. I am not ashamed to say so. I think it is very clear that I'm a big Pokemon fan. But yeah, the first movie Pokemon theme, one of the few original Pokemon themes besides the raw original that I keep in my rotation. The Power Glove one is in there. And a lot of covers from the To Be a Master album that was released, God, I don't even know, like 1999 probably. A lot of that music back then. It was an unusual time to be a fan of nerd culture stuff, because you actually had some like decent music tied to your franchise stuff. There were some fun songs tied to the Pokemon first movie that weren't purely all-in Pokemon stuff. I remember specifically the song with the race between Squirtle and Meryl being really enjoyable. Even franchises like Yu-Gi-Oh! Had an entire album that just had some decently okay music. I mean, it was very poppy and whatever, but I don't know. If you were a fan of the franchise that it was kind of cool to have some halfway decent music to throw into the mix with it all. And some of it came from like legit musicians. I still remember the album for Pokemon 2000. Like, for God's sake, they had Weird Al Yankovic make a song for it, and it was right down his polka love. That was just like fun, bounce around kid music. So cool back in the day. I'm sat watching with my girlfriend, and she's almost crying because you're such a wholesome. Oh, no! No! It's so cool that you made it this far. But this is where you say bye-bye, mister. All my Pokemon are super tough. Your weak attacks won't work on them at all. They'll bounce right off, you'll see. I can't wait for you to meet my friends, so here they come. Dem, how do you break me every goddamn time? Alright, guys, I have to mute myself for a minute. I just got a call from a friend of mine, and it's usually not a good sign. Please give me a moment. Alright guys, I don't normally do that. I am terribly sorry for shoving you aside. A friend of mine is going through some rough times and got a phone call from him. I just called him back, he didn't answer, so I'm waiting to hear what's going down. If I have to end the stream early, know that it is for a very good reason. I made some promises to this guy when he is really down and out right now, and I very much try to be a man of my word, and if he needs me to come running, I will end this stream early and leave this where it is, and we will pick up right where this left off on our next stream. But I just want to fill you guys in that something might be going down. I have no information right now. I just tried to call back and got the voicemail. So, apologies for that. Again, certainly not something I normally go through. All good. Hope it's all okay. Yeah. I hope so as well. To get a phone call during my live streams, because I put it usually out there, so they're usually pretty aware. So that kind of shook me for a second there. So I'm going to keep myself available on that end and try to keep my eye out. Again, sorry about that. Alright, this is why she was so confident in her... Sorry, I'm a little shaken right now. Confident in her ability to withstand the attacks of whatever Pokemon I send out. She's running with some Steel types. Unfortunately, Richard isn't the best case for fighting this. I think Bulldoze might be acceptably decent, though. Yeah, okay, Bulldoze isn't too bad. And we can swap Pokemon in between. However, now I can't swap Pokemon in between without taking a little bit of a beating. Thanks for that. Alright, Richard, hopefully you can ride or die on this for a little bit. Because at this point... Son of a... There goes that entire plan. And I can't even send out... Wait. The Fire Fang might work out. Alright, hold up, guys. Hey, what's up? Alright, sorry that you're hearing the microphone move there. So, I did just hear back from my friend. I do have to get going. This isn't anything, like, crazy, vital... crazy, but as I've said, I try to be a man of my word, and I need to go make good on my word. I apologize for wrapping the stream up early. We are going to come back to this stream tomorrow evening, probably around 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern time, and we will be at exactly this same spot. I'm going to have the system go into sleep mode. Nothing is going to change, because I've said I want to maintain this stream and my experience going through it as its own thing, but I do have to go make good on a man-to-man statement, and a friend is in a tight spot and in a rough shape, so I apologize. Please understand, and as usual, guys, have a good one. Hope to see you next time. Peace out.